I'm muted. I was muted. Okay. I got it. Okay. Why do I do that? I unmute here and my microphone was still mute. So welcome to Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. I'm Kathy. I know I muted the microphone because Percy was barking, and then I unmuted from here, but not there. There's two mute buttons. Duh. Anyway, so welcome. I hope you guys are all doing okay. And everybody's doing good. Happy Memorial Day weekend to you all. I am going to finish editing the next episode of Afterglow, Unveiling the Idaho Cult. And something I came across when I was recording Afterglow this week, I'm going to share with you in a few minutes what I found is really interesting. And I hadn't read it really deeply before. So we'll do that pretty soon. Hope everybody's doing okay. And you are all doing good. Let me see who's here so I can say hello. Luscan, hello. Hi, Carrie. You were late. Carrie, you have to remember, you got to look at the live stream. You got to go on there and you got to look at it and you got to see what time it says. Because if you go by me saying 10:30, then you're going to think your time zone. So you got to go on and then go to my channel and then hit live. And then you'll see upcoming and it'll tell you exactly what time it is in your time zone. You get confused about my times a lot. So just there's your little lesson of the day on how to find out what time it's at. Hi, Deanna and Dahlia, Funta Cruz, Lori Day's here, Angel, hello, and Emily, hi, happy Memorial Day weekend, cookout weekend. Let me see who's all. Okay, I think I gotcha. So, I'm gonna try to keep it an hour. I say that every single week. If you're new, please say hello. If you're not new, say hello too. Obviously, we like everybody to join in the chat. One of my main reasons of having a live stream is because we get to communicate with each other and chat. Otherwise, videos, right? So I do like communicating with all of you. And if you really, really want your question highlighted, just do a super chat, but it is absolutely not necessary. Also, if you are also new, I am really trying to get my other channel monetized. It is called Beyond the Empty Nest. It's my travel channel where I'm putting all my travel videos from my Greece trip. I literally 99 more days and I'm going back to Greece. So if you want to follow that trip, please subscribe over there because I don't like to bog people down with all that over here because this is about true crime. And it's not monetized over there. So let's see. So Lori, her attorneys filed a new filing yesterday. And I'm going to read the news report about it real quick here. It says Lori Vallow, according to court documents, Vallow's lawyer's first claim states that the court allowed, at the request of prosecutors, for the jury to consider a conspiracy of only two people, Lori and Alex, or Chad and Alex. When language used in the grand jury indictment clearly states that at least 5 people, including Lori, Chad, and Alex, entered into a conspiracy. So what do you guys think about that? Who are the other people? Are they trying to come down on someone else? That 5. So I'm going to put it out there. Lori, Chad, Alex, Melanie P, Melanie Gibb, or Zalema, or all of them. What do you think? I think all 3 of those people had a lot to do with this. Zalema, dude, I don't even know how she saved. Did you guys see my short I put up where I pulled that little clip of one of the old videos that I did where Alex is saying that we brought how's everything? Well, we brought a dark portal with us. Zalema's like, who? And Alex is like, Tylee. And Zalema's like, it will be revealed when the dark one needs to be dealt with or something like that. I don't know. I put a video up on it, just a 30-second short, because that's really something after having Zalema sit on that stand and be like, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, thankfully. You know what I mean? With her stupid little voice. Lori, I think some points are valid about the juror who was interviewed, but I also think they can easily explain their way out of it. Besides, Arizona will be getting her. Yeah. So then it says this change of the definition of conspiracy from the grand jury to the trial jury completely changed the complexity of the case by allowing the insertion of the and or language read a portion of these court documents. For the past 2 years, the defense has been put on notice that the conspiracy involved at least 5 people. This notice was clear from the language of the indictment. To have the government and the court permit a conspiracy of just 2 people instead of 5 was prejudicial and unlawful. You know, after experiencing a lot of this Idaho stuff, who gets the stay? Who gets the say if she gets a new trial? Is it Judge Boyce? Because I feel like he's super like conservative and he would give it to her. I feel like if it's up to him, there has to be someone above him that would agree to it, right? Whether the language of the grand theft charge included intent to deprive or intent to deceive was an element of proof to be determined by the trial jury and should not have been amended by the government, read a portion of the documents. In the third claim, Vallow's lawyers claim that a member of the jury revealed that jury instructions were confusing, and that juror, identified only as juror number 8, knew of evidence not submitted to the jury based on an interview between the juror and a reporter. So that's that Nate interview with, was it Sal? Is that him? Lori can't stand Nate Eaton. He says it. Lori don't like me. Like he even said it at trial. Like, oh, she doesn't like me. So she'll go after him because he's obviously a zombie, right? Along with the rest of us, probably. And a reporter for a publication known as East Idaho News. The court document included an excerpt of the interview between East Idaho News reporter and the juror. At one point, the juror said, I think the police department in Phoenix had some significant red flags that had they been followed up on, maybe we're not here. Which is true. But he could have looked this stuff up after, right? I mean, if I was on that jury, I would have ran home and been like watching and Googling everything. It was after the fact. So I don't know. I don't think that's I think they could say, well, dude, after being in that trial, he wanted to go check things out and see what was going on. Like, what the heck? This story is crazy. What don't I know? What didn't they tell me? That's what I think. I think they could get around that. And it is true. We wouldn't have been there if somebody would have listened to Charles Vallow, right? And believed him that Lori was losing her marbles and wanting to kill people. Charles Vallow's statements to law enforcement were not part of the evidence presented in the case. The juror and the reporter refer to it, but it wasn't presented in court, read a portion of the court documents. We can only conclude that the juror relied on information not presented in court to reach his conclusion that Arizona dropped the ball and should have done more even before Charles Vallow was shot and killed. Yeah, but it wasn't 5 minutes after the trial. He clearly could have gone home and researched, or talked to his wife who was all into it. Finally, she was probably bursting at the seams. Remember he said she followed it, but he didn't? Yeah, that's what you mean. Lori, yeah. Yeah. So I don't think that, if it would have been literally 30 seconds before they even stepped out of the courtroom or right after before they ever left and he said something like that. But I know for a fact when I was on a jury and it was like not even a murder case or anything, we found the person not guilty. And then I was super curious. So I went and Googled him and and all this stuff, right? Like I went home and did that right away. So I don't think that's unusual. Hi, Marilyn. I pray Lori doesn't get a new trial. So unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, I think she's going to try. I think Lori likes the idea of being in court for the rest of her life every day. I think she thinks it's her new job. No, a commercial just came over my, go away. Okay. La la la. Vallow's guilty verdict accumulated a 3-year investigation that included bizarre claims that her son and daughter were zombies, and she was a goddess sent to usher in the biblical apocalypse. Prosecutors in the case described Lori Vallow as a power-hungry manipulator who would kill her 2 youngest children for money, while the defense team said she was normally productive mother who fell under the romantic sway of wannabe cult leader. Romantic sway of Chud. Dumb. Her new, yeah, I think it's her new job. Like, she's like, I get to go out every day. I get some real clothes. I get to sit there and everybody stares at me. I'm Lori, you know what I mean? Well, if I'm behind bars, I might as well be in front of a trial. Defense attorney Jim Archibald, however, countered during the trial that there was no evidence trying his client to the killings, but plenty showing she was a loving, protective mother whose life took a sharp turn when she met Daybell and fell for the weird apocalyptic religious claims of a cult leader. You know, his crappy books, stupid books, whatever Jim Archibald said. I still love that. I just love that he called Chad ugly, poor, and stupid, and his books are crap. I just love it. I don't know why. That was just awesome. Even before the request for a new trial, Vallow's legal troubles were far from over, as officials with the Maricopa County Attorney's Office announced they have plans to extradite Vallow back to Arizona for the murder of Charles Vallow, in addition to the attempted murder of her niece's ex-husband, Brandon. So that's that. What do you guys, let me look and see your comments. Right, Jenny. Lori likes attention. Any attention is good attention, for sure, for sure. And you know what, Lori and I were in the courtroom when he did that, and I literally went like, oh shoot. I made a noise when he said that. Like, it just came out. Hopefully it wasn't loud and no one heard. I don't think anyone turned around, but I was like, I couldn't hold that one in. I agree. I think, and that's why I want to go over this one document that I found when I was recording Afterglow yesterday. After work, I was finishing it up and I have to edit it today. And it will be up. I did say that in Afterglow, I haven't done it since before I went to trial, because I went to the trial, but people watching Afterglow probably don't know why there's been a lapse, because I haven't had time after being gone that week. Yes, Juliana. Yes, it's coming. I promise. It is coming. It will be. I don't know. I have to edit it today. I don't know if I can get it up today, but it will be up tomorrow, no matter what. Tomorrow at some point, I will drop it, because it's all recorded. I just have to go through it and get my ums and ahs and mispronounced words out, or whatever I did. Good. Thank you. Thanks, Carrie. I felt like a zombie this past week because of a sinus infection that kept me awake. I'm unsure if it's the same type of zombie Lori wants dead. Lori wants anybody dead that doesn't believe that Lori is a goddess. You know, right? Let's see. Leighton, I hope they don't give her a new trial. Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. Leighton, it's hard for me to still even think that they couldn't find anyone that haven't heard about the case. I know, right? But there's people. I talk to people, although I don't live in Idaho, but I talk to people all the time. I'm like, haven't you heard about they're like, no. Oh, you have a podcast? What's it about? Oh, haven't you heard about that zombie lady who killed her children and they were in her husband's backyard? Nope. People say nope. So, and I'm like, people listening to Afterglow, if you read and I thank you guys for the reviews on Afterglow. It's going up. It's getting more reviews and more 5 stars, and I really appreciate it. But if you read them, they're like, there is so much stuff in this case that we had no idea about until we listened to Afterglow. So maybe someday Apple will actually suggest it to people, because it's still not suggested when you go to True Crime, but I'll live with it. The attorney set this up by not calling one witness. Oh, good point. Yeah, good point. Good point. So I don't know. I hope she doesn't get a new trial in Idaho. God, can you imagine sitting through that again? Ugh. Awful. So, okay, let me share this, and I'm going to share my screen because it is from the FOIA documents, and I want to go over this because I found, okay, this one. This is, okay. So, maybe they'll let us have cameras if there's a next time. Yeah, that would be good. Then I don't have to fly there, right? Now this, oh God, I got to zoom in because I'm blind. Oh, come on. Okay. So, Gilbert Police Sergeant, is this the right one? Hold on. Ah! Oh my God, I'm having issues. Hold on one second. Why won't this scroll? Hold on. Maybe I got the wrong one. Let me get the other one. Ah, this is the right one. Okay. Okay, hold on. Here, it's coming back. I swear. Can you hear my son out there making lots of noise? I can't text him to be quiet. Okay. It's this one. Okay. Okay, you can't hear him because I can, and I have my earbuds in. He's loud. I think he's talking on the phone. Okay. At 4/6/2020 at 2:17 p.m., I received a call from Stephen W. Cope, Melanie Boudreaux Pulowski's biological father. I'd asked for clarification about the location Melanie was at when she told him she wanted a divorce from Brandon. Stephen called back with details. The call was not recorded. The following is a summary of what Stephen told me. Let's see. Melanie and Brandon were at his house, so Stephen's house, at blank Salem, Utah. Melanie and Brandon were visiting. He believes it was June 27th, 2019 at 0200 hours. Brandon, who was in the house at the time, called Steve's cell phone and asked him to come downstairs. Melanie told her father she wanted a divorce from Brandon. Brandon was in shock and didn't understand. Stephen spoke with them both separately. While Stephen was speaking with Melanie, she showed him a video and said Brandon was gay. The video was of Brandon on a work trip in Atlanta, Georgia. The video depicted another male dancing with Brandon along with several other people partying. She based the information off the video and a vision she had at the temple in Arizona. Stephen questioned Melanie about how she knew this was the truth, and Melanie told him she was praying about it in the temple when she had a vision. The vision was of a meter. The meter went from 0 to G, G meaning gay. What? How she interprets this stuff is so bizarre. Melanie described how she saw the meter go all the way to G, and that's how she knew. Stephen questioned the validity of this information. Melanie cut him off from discussing the issue further by saying, I had my revelation. You go get yours. You get your own. You get your own. What the hell? Hold on, I'll keep going. I just want to look and see if you guys have anything to say. No. I mean, she's okay. So this is June of 2019. So this is all right before everything hit the fan, right? She had her own revolution. Dad, go get your own revolution. This is mine. Revolution? Revolution. Stephen spoke with Brandon, and Brandon described the video as a work trip. Brandon was the designated driver for the group. Brandon said it was a work-related get-together and that he is not gay. This concluded the information about the conversation between Steve, Melanie, and Brandon about the divorce. Hi, Ruby. Oh, and I was going to tell you guys all, I'm going back to the 10:30 morning time that I used to have because Ruby lives across the world and it's hard for her to do the later times in the day. So because she's one of my very favorite mods, I want to accommodate that so she can be here. Let's see. Steve wanted to clarify some dates he had given me because he spoke from before. Oh, because we spoke before. Okay. Steve and Stacy Lynn Cope, Melanie's biological mom, were divorced on June 26, 1996. Melanie was 6 years old at the time. And there was a brief separation of he and Melanie prior to the divorce when Stacy took Melanie to stay with Janice and Barry in Rialto, California. The separation lasted for approximately 6 months, and Stephen feels Lori may have been there during that time. Okay, let me get more. Come on. I had asked Steve how he had obtained custody of Melanie, and Steve believes incidents involved with blank and violence was the reason why he was awarded custody. So I guess blank and blank would be him and her, and violence was the reason why he was awarded custody. Melanie was their only child in common. I asked Steve if he could provide examples of the change in Melanie's behavior in the spring of 2019. Steve described Melanie as changing in mood, flat. So her affect went flat. Melanie used terms light spirits and dark spirits. Okay, so this was spring of 2019, where she's already talking about light and dark spirits, right? Right, that's before Charles was murdered. This is about the time that Charles was like, help me with my crazy wife. So Melanie had also fallen into this trap, clearly. Melanie referred to the term warrior often and spoke of the second coming. Steve described her as different than she was in the past. When Steve would try to question Melanie about what was going on, she would say, I got my revelation. You get your own. Apparently, she likes to tell him to go get his own revelation. Steve spoke of a trip his wife, Christy Cope, took to Arizona in May of 2019. Christy would visit to see everyone and help Brandon and Melanie out. Christy visited every year, but this trip had noticeable differences. Steve said Christy told him the house was filthy and unkept. There were holes in the wall. Christy had never seen the house like this. She spent the entire trip trying to clean the house up. Everyone in the house was on electronic devices, including Brandon. Melanie was constantly on her phone and would announce she was leaving for a couple of hours to go to the temple. Christy reported this happened every day she was visiting. So this is when they're seeing Melanie kind of getting sick of Brandon. Lori and Charles kind of is freaking out at the same time. No one's helping him. This is all leading up to when all this went down. First Charles and then the rest. And this one I had to read like 5 times because I didn't get it. But apparently Melanie, this is his dad. First I was like, wait, this is Brandon's dad. No, this is not Brandon's dad. No, this is Melanie's dad. But this is what happened. Steve clarified information about Melanie's visit on December 24th, 2019 at 22:30. So 10:30 at night, Melanie came to visit her dad, Steve. Now, at this point, apparently Brandon had the kids because this was after Melanie had moved to married Ian. So this was after that. Brandon had the kids. Melanie married Ian. Melanie, the missing kids, Tylee and JJ were missing by this time. It was just everything was going to hit the news right about this time, right after Christmas here, right around Christmas. So Steve clarified the information about Melanie's visit on December 24th, 2019 at 10:30 p.m. Melanie called him and asked to visit. He found out she was sitting out in front of the house. So Melanie's out there in a car. Melanie told Steve she was about 4 minutes away, but she was out in front of the house. Steve suspected Melanie thought her children were being hidden at Steve's house. Steve believes Melanie was sitting outside because she wanted to see if someone would leave with her children prior to her arrival. So Melanie's like, yeah, I'm not there yet. I'm almost there. Are my kids in there? They're going to get them out of there before I show up. I'm going to catch them. She wanted to nab those kids. She wanted to nab her own kids, which is scary because we could have more dead children, right? Thank God Brandon was like keeping those kids far away from her. And she picked the wrong dad to go find them. But, eventually she went and picked the other dad, Brandon's dad, right? And got arrested. So Steve believes Melanie was sitting outside because she wanted to see someone would leave with her children prior to her arrival. Melanie arrived at the house with Ian. She told Steve she was there because she had Christmas presents. I'm looking at your chat for a second. Yeah, Lori, right? There was a lot going on that we don't even know about when you start digging into all this stuff. Everything Melanie does is shady, in my opinion. She can't be honest about the smallest things. Yep, I believe she was planning kidnapping along with all the other stuff, and yet no charges. Yep, I think so. That's what it really looks like, right? So Steve suspected Melanie thought her children were being hidden at Steve's house. Steve believes Melanie was sitting outside because she wanted to see if someone would leave with her children prior to her arrival. Melanie arrived at the house with Ian. She told Steve she was there because she had Christmas presents. Steve believes she was there looking for her children. Steve saw Ian but had no interaction with him. He wanted to question his daughter about blank as well as her who shot at Brandon. So I guess about Tylee and JJ. So he wanted to question his daughter about Tylee and JJ as well as ask her who shot Brandon because the kids are missing at this point. When he asked about blank, Tylee and JJ, because it says them, Melanie refused to answer about them. Melanie refused to answer about them. Why? Because Melanie says she didn't know they were dead. She didn't know they were what? I don't know. I mean, when you go back, I have some videos on Melanie's interviews with Ian, and she is such a liar. Like, she needs a big Pinocchio nose for sure. She's such a liar. I don't know how she's getting away with all this. Really, truly. It just blows my mind. And she didn't even testify because she was like, oh yeah, I've been watching everything. So I can't be at the trial. I can't be a witness. Sorry. Gone. She's a snake. Snaky, sneaky snake. Yep. Locked up. So Melanie refused to answer about them. Steve asked who shot Brandon, and Melanie responded, how do you know Brandon didn't shoot his own vehicle? How do you know one of his work buddies didn't shoot at him? Steve, yeah, sure. Okay. I'm going to shoot my own car. What? Like, the logic is just so stupid. And to me, those ridiculous points mean she knew, I think, right? I got to take a sip. I need to wipe. Throat's getting dry. Right? That is a good question. I don't know if Melanie had life insurance on her children. That's an excellent question, though. How do you know Brandon didn't shoot his own vehicle? How do you know one of his work buddies didn't shoot at him? Steve tried to emphasize how the world was looking for Tylee and JJ. Steve told Melanie he felt Alex and Lori were cold-blooded murderers. This is December, you guys. And Steve is telling Melanie, Steve Cope, Melanie's dad, is like, Lori and Alex are cold-blooded murderers. So it was pretty clear. I don't know if they had the insanity plea. Good question. Probably. It was during this conversation that Melanie cried about the mention of Alex Cox, who was dead by this time. This is 2 weeks after Alex died, and Lori Vallow. So she, oh my God, don't mention my Uncle Alex. He's my bestest friend ever. And Lori, I miss my Aunt Lori. Ugh. Just makes me sick. I have to make fun of her stupid, my head. This is what I see in my head. So, it was during this conversation, Melanie cried about the mention of Alex Cox, who was dead by this time, and Lori Vallow. Steve could not understand why his daughter was crying over these people whom he felt did horrible things. Melanie changed topics and asked to go into the basement where her siblings were. Steve was shocked by this request and told her to go ahead. Melanie spoke to her siblings for approximately 5 minutes, came back upstairs, and left. So she went downstairs to look for her kids, right? She's trying to see if they were hiding her kids down there. Following this contact, Melanie cut him off from communicating with her. So this is when Melanie cut off her own dad. I concluded my conversation with Steve and told him if he needed anything to call me. This information has been forwarded to the case agent, Detective Pillar, and Violent Crimes Sergeant R. Savoy. Conclusion. This concludes my activity in this matter. So, okay. What do you think? I think she's super duper involved. Oops. Melanie said her Uncle Alex was like her vault. She could trust him with anything. I trust you with killing my children. Go for it. I trust you so much, Uncle Alex. Yeah, totally, Lori, right? She was a vulnerable teenager when Lori and Alex got to Melanie P. Yeah, and I think she's very naive. Her brain is stuck somewhere. I keep getting this weird rash. I don't know where it's coming from. It's itchy. Her brain is stuck somewhere in preteen, teen. Really, I mean, when you hear her talk and stuff, she just has that whole. She just seems so. I don't know, just immature and naive and like a lying teenager, a sneaky lying teenager. God knows what you believe, though, right? Right, true. Let's see. So Lori wants a new trial. We know Melanie P is a big fat liar, and she got away with not testifying. Lori's attorneys are saying there's 5 conspiracy people involved in this. And then Nate Eaton's interview is getting, dissected because the guy said he knew stuff about Charles. But I think that I do, like I said earlier, I think they could get around that because he probably went home and looked at everything and his wife probably started talking to him about it too. I mean, if that was my husband and he was on that jury and I was following this case, like he said, I'd have been like, oh, great, it's over. Thank you. Listen, this is what happened. Like, let me fill you in, right? Charles, if they would have believed Charles, none of this would have happened, which is true. If somebody would have taken him seriously. Yes, she had trauma as a child and teen from her mom's death and her unhealthy family dynamic. Definitely. Who do you think are the 5 co-conspirators? So I think, that's why I was saying, okay, so we got Alex, Chad, and Lori. So that means there's at least 2. They said at least 5. So Melanie P, Zalema, Melanie Gibb. That's Those are my guesses. So that would be 6. Does Melanie P see her kids? Does she have joint custody with Brandon? I believe she does see her children. That one, remember when she got served and there's body cam at their house in Arizona and Ian and her at the door and she's all somehow trying to get out of it. The dog was at the park and all this brought the dog home. And didn't she have a baby and say stuff about her kids that day? We'll have to find that interview. I don't know if I can find it. Let's see. Is there a way to find it? Let me look. Let me look. I don't know if I'll find it. Melanie. Ski body cam. Arizona. Being served. Oh, here it is. It popped up with Pretty Lies and Alibis. Do you think she would mind if I showed her? I guess it's not really copyright because it's public. No. Let me see. Okay. So I'm going to share it because she just has it up on her thing. It's not her. It's just she put it on her platform. So let me share this with you guys. Yes. And she's very nice. I really like her. I met her in Idaho. Lori and I did. Wish we would have had more time to go have coffee or dinner or something with her because she's super, super nice. Gigi from Pretty Lies. We got to chat with her here and there. Okay, good. Let's see. I want to present it. Okay. There's no sound yet. I don't hear anything yet. Well, that's interesting, Nanner Chan. How do we know that? Super interesting. There we go.
Morning. Golden Retriever? Yeah, it's okay. Melanie, I'm Detective Ring the word Chandler PD. Okay.
Hi. With the County Attorney's Office, Maricopa County. Apparently you and your husband are wanted for a subpoena for testimony up in Idaho. So I can get paperwork to you for that.
Do you want to go back to the house? Would that be easier?
I need to have my dog go potty and then take the kids to school.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll just take a minute. But I don't have to ask you a question.
See? And then take my kids to school. So she does have her kids. Okay, we'll go on.
For the hearing. And then I'd like to get them to your husband as well. Is he home?
Yeah, he's doing a work meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's all I need to do.
It only takes a couple minutes and we're done.
I'll go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
So
can I get my kids to school?
Yeah, you'll have the time to do that right away. This literally, it takes like, what, 3 or 4 minutes a piece? Okay.
That's all.
You want me to hold him? I'm not bad with
I don't
dogs.
know if she's a sweetheart. I think she just
Yeah,
gets scared.
she'll smell my golden doodle and Aussie doodle, so I think she'll be okay. I'll take her if you want. It's up to you.
Yeah,
Okay. Let's go potty. Come on. Whoa.
She's really scared.
Come on, let's play. Come on.
I'll just get them to school.
Come on.
Are you guys just gonna be like that time?
Come on. Come on.
Have you had any contact with the prosecutor up in Idaho?
Robert?
There could be, yeah. I get it. Yeah, I understand.
So this is when she's being served to testify in Idaho, and they mentions Lindsay Blake.
But the reason I'm asking is, the reason I'm asking is if you had contact with them, maybe they would explain something to you. Probably at this point, but
I don't think so. Is there any way I can get them to school sooner than later?
What time do they have to go to school?
You're going to be there at 8, so that's going to take her and get them in the car and go.
Okay, well,
Like
this takes like 20 seconds a piece. So if he just comes outside, we'll be done.
I have something else to say. Do you notice how hard she's trying to get out of this? Like she's going to talk her way out of being served. Oh, well, I got to be there by 8 o'clock, blah, blah, blah. She spends more time trying to get out of this than she does just taking the papers. And that is typical of her, in my opinion. That's what I see she does. Okay, here we go again.
Pete, she's going inside to get husband real quick. She's in a hurry because she wants to get the kids to school by 8. Does she have to sign anything or?
if she waives the hearing,
Oh, okay.
because they'll be afforded the opportunity to go to a hearing,
Oh,
to like say why they shouldn't have to go.
oh, okay.
And then a lot of times, most people just waive the hearing and then sign the waiver,
Mm-hmm.
and then just go ahead and go. If they're
Okay.
willing,
Mm-hmm.
Kids.
We only saw the 1-1-year-old.
Hello, how are you? How you doing?
How's it going here?
With the county attorney's office, Maricopa County. Sure. Detective there. And I just wanted to get you and your wife some paperwork in regard to, I guess, we want to have you guys come up to Idaho and testify, whatever information you have on that pending case. Okay. So I assume you're familiar with what we're talking about. Yeah. The case we're talking about. Yeah. So I basically just have paperwork for you and you as well. Sure. And then there's a hearing if you want to go to a hearing to say why you shouldn't have to go to Idaho. Sure. So if you waive that hearing, if you're cooperative, and you can go ahead and go back up there. I think they want you guys May 18th, I believe, is the date.
Okay.
Then you can waive that hearing and then just make arrangements with that prosecutor up there. I'm sure they'll take care of the tribal arrangements, that type of thing.
Sure.
And then you guys can go up there and take care of it.
Okay.
Otherwise, so yeah, if you do want to waive that hearing, then you just have the document for you to sign to waive the hearing, and then they'll make your way up to
Okay.
there's arrangements. Is that something you guys are going to do?
Yeah, well, let's talk about, I don't know, as far as, I gotta get my kids to school, so I just gotta get this thing.
Okay. So yeah. So this is documents for you. It's basically an order of show cause. That's the hearing.
Okay.
And then the subpoena is in there as well from Fremont County.
Okay.
That's for you as well. So with that hearing date being the 12th, 8:30 Maricopa County Courthouse downtown. If you guys are willing to waive that hearing and then make arrangements with the attorney for information that you're on that paperwork. Just call her, Lindsay Blake. And then a lot of times they'll include.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Okay. Well, she's one of the prosecutors anyway up there.
Okay.
So, if you guys want to waive that hearing on the 12th, and then just make arrangements with her to go up to Idaho for that hearing on the 18th. Well, it's for that day, but it may take a couple of days. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Then you guys can have you sign that, and then that waives the hearing.
Okay.
So it's up to you guys.
I don't know, can we make a decision?
I have to.
I don't know right now, we might have like a lawyer talk to, who can help us know what to do. I'm kind of trying to get my kiddos to school, so I'm kind of not able to make a decision right now.
So what happens is if you guys go, or if you want to say, I don't want to go up to Idaho and I want to go to a hearing with a judge here.
Okay, I think this is hilarious. How should we? If we all took a drink every time she said I have to get my kids to school, we'd be drunk by now. And she just blows my mind. Like she just has to get away with crap. You know what I mean? Like she is just so manipulative too, just like Lori. What Ian works for Melaleuca or something, right? Melaleuca is not the name of it. Okay, I'll keep going.
American County,
Right.
And that's what that date is for on there on this order of show cause.
Right.
For the 12th, 8:30.
Okay.
And then you'll go to the court and tell them why you think you shouldn't have to go, and then
I would just call
And
her.
this is to testify.
it's for a grand jury.
Okay.
Grand jury process, so it's all sealed information, not to testify at a trial or anything like that.
Right. They're just going to ask us general questions, basically.
Whatever it is you guys know.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they've been kind of jerking us around. They've been saying they want to come down and talk to us, and they want to come down and talk to us, and then they never show up, and they never reach out. So they've reached out to our lawyer 3 or 4 times, and then just left us hanging. So this is really irritating.
Yeah, I understand. And then a lot of times when that doesn't do that, I'll say, okay, well, well, they want you up there.
Yeah,
so
got contact.
I mean, these cops are just doing their job and they're giving them all. There, this is irritating.
Just call Garrett right
Just
now.
let me call. Yeah, let me make a quick phone call, and we'll just kind of
Put him in the car so they're
get a
on.
feel for this, and then we'll go right now.
Oh, yeah, good.
I believe it is Funda Cruz.
You probably know
Oops,
Vista
commercial,
print for
hold on.
business cards, but did you know we also print that and that and that?
We're still explaining the process to him at this point. She's going to start loading the kids up in the car. Hey, so we're being subpoenaed right now to go and sit in front of a grand jury and share some information up for Fremont County. That would be May 18th. Yeah, that's what I just said. I said this is really irritating because they've been jerking us around for the last 3 months, saying they're going to come and talk to us, and now they're subpoenaing us. They want us to. So this is specifically to sit in front of a grand jury and share. It would be a sealed thing to share what we know with them. And so that would be May 18th. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thanks for doing that right before my family trial. And we can waive our, so we have a hearing to contest it, if we want on the 12th. Correct. So we can waive that, or we can
Hey,
go forward with
what's going on?
it. Okay.
There's definitely kids in there,
Yes,
more
yeah,
than
it's
one.
kind of extreme. Okay, so we're right. Stressed. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense to us when they've been trying to talk to us and they're just dragging us up there. Okay, yeah, I'll send it up to you. So we've got a Chandler police officer here and a detective out here. No, they came to the door. I assume this is that lady that showed up 2 days in a row and then, gave up after 2 attempts, but yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. All right, so if we want to do the hearing, can we waive it later?
We're gonna run across that before. Usually, I'll give people the paperwork, and then
Right.
I can know if you want to waive the hearing because they have to set the hearing.
Right.
And make sure that it's prepared for the hearing.
Okay.
And
So give me an answer in like an hour or two, just so we can get the kids to school and.
well, I mean, I can come back, but it's either waive the hearing and then you just go ahead and cooperate and you talk to the attorney up there, right? You make travel arrangements for the 18th,
right?
Or you say I don't want to waive it, and then you have to go to this hearing,
right? Yeah, that's the issue. We've been telling them. Yeah, okay.
And that's all really the information I have. I don't really know what to tell you one way or the other, but
right.
People don't. I guess they don't usually get back to me. They just say yes, I will go, or take care of it, or yes, I will waive the hearing.
Yeah.
So
we've been telling them we're willing to cooperate.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been.
I would say maybe that's the easiest way to go is to waive the hearing and then go up to Idaho and cooperate.
Right.
Because I don't know how often judges will look at that here, but they know that authorities want you up in whatever state it is. So
Right.
you say, yes, I understand your concerns, but they still need you up there, and so they're most likely to probably say you need to go,
Right.
But I mean, that's up to you guys. I'm just the messenger.
Just messenger, yeah. No, yeah, that's fine. Get that.
I mean, obviously, I catch you off guard or whatever the case is.
Right.
But I assume you know what's going on
Yeah,
and why they want to talk to you.
We're fully aware. I mean, they've been in communication with our lawyer about this for months, saying, hey, we want to come down and talk to them. They've been down here several times and have made no effort to talk to us. So it's just really stupid that they're now subpoenaing us, making us go up to Idaho in 2 weeks. Yeah. Rearrange all of our plans to make it work for them when they've been down here to do this. So, I'm not sorry. I'm not like.
No,
It's just,
I'm not mad at you guys. I'm
It's
just
just
like,
that time trying to get the
like,
kids
what
to
the hell
school
are
right
you
now.
guys doing? Like,
I just have to say, oh, poor baby, you're being subpoenaed to the grand jury because there's 2 dead kids and a dead other person, and it's super inconvenient for you. And by the way, you were involved in all this crap. You're lucky they're not holding a grand jury hearing about you, Melanie. Like, they're so obnoxiously like, oh, this is just a pain in my butt. So weird. Okay, I will keep going.
they need to get there. They need to get it together.
Right. Yeah.
So
I get it.
this whole case has just been a freaking mess for us. So, you know what? Yeah, would you be willing to come back in like an hour so we can get this to our lawyer and just, or even maybe I can drive over and we'll come to the police department an hour and sign stuff for you, or
I guess those situations, if I'm not even in contact with you,
right?
Then I'm assuming
We're good for it. We're not gonna do the job.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, that would be home all day.
So I mean, I'm fine with it.
We'll be out. We've
Okay,
got
I'm fine with
a lot
that.
of things.
Okay, yeah, let's just get this over to our lawyer real quick, go over, make sure everything's all good.
Do they want to give both copies to them
Yeah, so
now?
you got yours.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, I got
okay.
mine.
And then the other, this is just the waiver form. So if you waive at the hearing, then
Do
you
you wanna-
sign it, that's all.
Yeah, do you wanna leave that with us too? And so, if we just, maybe swing back by, if we decide we wanna just waive it, we'll have it ready for you, or
It's just a signature.
Oh, that's all it is. That's fine.
It's not like
I have
taxes.
like copies of it, so,
Okay, that's fine.
and that's all that is. And so,
Okay.
and then, yeah, that's pretty much all. This is all just copies from the judge.
Okay.
When the judge decides that's what he's gonna do, then he signs off.
Sure.
So,
All right.
yeah, I can stop back by. That's,
Yeah, that's fine. Let's do that.
That works.
Yeah.
if I'm not able to make contact with you, then I'm just got to assume that
That's fine.
you're not waiving the hearing, and then you have to go to the hearing.
That's not a problem.
Right, and then if you don't go to the hearing,
If you
then
can't make
there's,
contact,
Yeah.
problems, right, so.
Yeah, no
We're
worries.
good,
know
it's just
that.
a bad time right now.
Yeah, it's not that they're not willing to do it, it's just the way they're handling it. It's kind of weird to us.
Actually,
So we just want to make sure that we're.
but just so you know, like, obviously, this is happening, and it's not gonna go away.
Right, yeah.
Don't stop people. It's-
I'm traveling up there for my family trial that weekend anyway, so I'll
Okay.
be in Idaho. It's not, so I got.
That makes it easier.
Yeah,
So, okay, I'll let you go, and I'll come back in an hour.
okay, sounds good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ruby. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Very helpful. Thank you very much. All right. What do you think? And thank you so much, Ruby. Hey. There's Holly. Hi, Idaho Mom Reports. How are you? Good to see you. No, we didn't get justice. True. I really think there's so many more people that can be prosecuted here. It's just crazy. I'm really surprised since they're going after Lori for Brandon that they're not going after her for Brandon. I'm just pretty amazed. Yeah. Let's see. So I just feel like we're getting more stuff's going to happen. Don't you? I mean, maybe I'm just hopeful that more stuff's going to happen, but I feel like no, look at her there. It's so inconvenient to go, to the grand jury. I know you have to go to Idaho and everything. You have a bunch of kids, but maybe you shouldn't have been involved or stopped this and thought with your brain. And Ian's still with her. Is that weird to you? Like, Ian, I know they have a baby, but I would have divorced her and started fighting for custody, being like, look, she's crazy. Look at everything. I even wore a wire for the FBI. Give me my baby. I don't know. I just think I have no idea why Ian wants to still be with that woman after everything. Melanie is a brat who thinks she's going to get away with her part in Brandon's shooting too. I agree. I think she thinks she's getting away with it. He could be, once you turn on the cult, God forbid, who knows who else is still involved in all this, right? Yeah. Hi, Veronica. Do we take another drink yet? Yeah. How many times did she say it? I just got to get my kid to school, but I'm going to make this take forever because I'm just going to tell you how inconvenient this is. And this is true. This is true. This is a true statement here. He knew about her craziness before she became pregnant. Yeah. I figure she got pregnant soon after they got married, like right after or right around the time they got married, but maybe he's a hero, thinks he's saving her. Yeah, so weird. I don't know. So this is never ending. I could just keep my whole channel all about the Vallow Daybell case and never follow another case again and still have plenty of content, huh? I'm definitely going to go, if there's a trial in Arizona, it's literally a 4-hour drive to get to where the trial will be from me and probably a 20-minute flight. So I'll definitely make that one more than once if it's going to be long. So, She threw sex on Ian and got him that way in her spider web of crazy. Sure. Yeah. She did. She told him all about this on their wedding night. That's true. This makes my family look so wholesome and normal. I know, mine too. You're going with me. Yay. Yay. My trial pal, my trial partner. We had a good time. It was nice. It was great to meet everybody and see people and be there. And I was so, from the beginning, I said, I want to be there for the verdict. And it just worked out so perfectly that we were able to be there. The hearing in Idaho. No, I'm probably not going to go back to Idaho anytime soon. But Arizona is like around the corner. So we'll see, though. You never know. It's just, I have to pay off my credit card from the last trip. So, I feel like Melanie getting married after a week or two of knowing Ian is weird. I agree. I think they're all weird. Alex and Dilemma did the same thing. Like, we got to get married now because we're part of the 144,000. Hurry up, let's go. Yes, we did. Perfect timing. This week, Keith Morrison was asked on the Date with Dateline podcast if he was going to continue following this case, and he said, I haven't lost interest yet, surprisingly. Yeah, it's just never ending, I'm sure. I'm going to try to go to the sentencing I put in for the day off. Oh, good. Good. Holly, are you going to sentencing? You should be, right? Because you're right there. No, you're not right there. It's in Rexburg, huh? It's on the other side. Are you closer to that, Carrie, than you were to Boise? I know several couples who got married that fast. They were all LDS. Interesting. I think they knew each other before. I think he was part of it. I don't know. Yeah, Ian's a weird one to me. I think Chad told them to get married. Yeah, Chad. What Chad says we do. Almighty Chad. Right? That's how they looked at him for some weird reason. Carrie B can be our reporter. Yep, she can. Who would actually believe they were part of some special group of 144,000? If you told me that, I'd be like, I'm definitely not that special. And, Archibald did bring that up. They're like, okay, so they got what? 2, 3 people? Alex, Lori, they got a long ways to go to gather their 144,000. But I think there's a lot of people that zipped it. So I also am in Afterglow this week's episode, the first audio interview. It's audio, obviously it's audio, but with Christina, Lori's friend Christina. That one, when the police came to her house on April, I can't remember off the top of my head, but April of 2020, they went to Nicole and Christina's house. So Christina's interview is in the Afterglow interview the Afterglow episode that I'm editing right now. So look for it this weekend. Lori Day, all are not in right minds of honorable and Chad saw that. Yeah. I believe the groupies were large in Rexburg until the police come knocking. And then they were all like, ooh. Yeah, Christopher Parrott was all like, they'll be exonerated and da-da-da-da. And then he was like, oops, they got caught. He got talked to by the FBI and stuff too, quite a bit. And he was all in charge of AVOW. So there's more. There's more. They're all just like, no, you can't see me. That's where they're at now, right? So I have been putting up little shorts. I found a way to make quick shorts and I'm scheduling them. So hopefully they're not too many. I was messing with it. So I'm going to try to put a short up on YouTube as much as possible for I'll schedule them ahead and one pops up here and there. because I'm going through the old videos I have, and the one I did yesterday was the Zalema and talking to Alex via text about Tylee being in a dark portal. So try to keep like reminding us of all the weird crap that actually went on in this case. And there's a lot, and you forget. I forget. The Jesus wife thing was a subtle clue as well. Yeah, right. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't. Oh, you do, Lori? Thank you. Okay. And yeah, so I have been able to find a way to make them easier for me going through them, and I can just upload the big videos and then it can make clips. So it's working out so far pretty good. All right. So yes, everybody's welcome in Discord. We have Discord. We chat in there a lot about everything, all the cases, new cases that are coming up. I usually find my new cases by one of you guys that are in Discord, dropping them in there. And then as far as like anything on the West case, I'm still really flabbergasted that jury didn't have reasonable doubt. I was in a Facebook group, and then somebody was like, oh, and don't forget Kathy from Left Undone. She's the worst. I was like, oh, okay, thank you very much. But I'm not really the worst. Believe me, there's worse than me, like murderers, actual murderers. But that case still blows my mind a little bit. There's literally, we were talking about this, and everybody's like, oh, they murdered this, because everybody was sure they were no innocent until proven guilty in the social media world. But we were talking about this, like literally the biggest downfall for any of them, the Wests, especially them, there was no actual evidence. It was all using their words against them. Their words were used against them. Even their child's words were used against them. So I have a hard time understanding how a child can be interviewed without representation over and over and over again. That really bothers me, because an adult can say, I want a lawyer. A child doesn't get to do that. I don't get it. I really don't. So that's a little weird to me. But, obviously, if they're guilty, they're not going to make as big of a stink about it as they would if they were not guilty. And we were also talking about, if they're guilty, why doesn't one of them just take the fall so the other one can go be with their children or their family? Like, I would think if they're guilty, one of them would just be like, I'm just going to take the fall for the whole thing. I don't know. We were talking about this stuff, just like brainstorming over that case. Oh, Chad's books are still for sale. Yeah, the chosen, like in the book of Revelation, the chosen Jewish people. Yep, chosen ones. All right, you guys. So I am 1 hour and 9 minutes into the live. I am going to wrap it up. Has anybody got anything else to say? Thank you guys. Back to Saturday mornings, 10:30. I think it'll be good for the summer too, because then I can have my day and I can go get in my pool when it gets to be 100 degrees. And Percy seems okay with it. He's been pretty well behaved today. Hasn't peed yet. This dog, does anybody else have a dog that will go like 15 hours without going potty? I took him out like at 10:30 last night. We're 13 hours in before he's peed. I think that's really weird. Yeah, I wish I had that bladder. Anyway, Purse. You're being good. I should not bother you. Anyway, okay, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching Left Undone. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and please hit the like button, leave comments, and I appreciate you all. And if you want to join my travel channel, it's Beyond the Empty Nest, because I have a lot of small clips I'm putting up there too from all the videos that I already have taken that I can make shorts and smaller clips with. And so I really want to get that channel monetized, because they're running ads on it, and I still need like 500 subscribers to get monetized. It's slow, but it's getting more views than this channel because people are looking for, ideas, travel, and all that kind of stuff. All right. Let's Sleeping Dogs Live for sure. For sure. All right. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe, stay well. And I will definitely be back soon, and look for Afterglow this week because I have, it'll be posted. It'll be posted on all the platforms. Okay. Bye.